Hello, my name is Sabrina and today I'm going to make cinnamon swirl cupcakes. Although this is a baking video, it's also about chemistry, with reactions and equations and everything. That way you can follow along and know about the behind the scenes. What we're working with is flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, granulated powdered and brown sugar, eggs, milk, cinnamon, butter, vanilla, and some heavy cream. Chemically, every single one of these is about to do something, and I'll explain exactly what later. While the oven heats up to 350 Fahrenheit, let's make the cinnamon swirl first because it's easy. Brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little melted butter. Be careful not to put the metal in the microwave. Mix until it's crumbly. This is the cinnamaldehyde. That's the actual organic compound. That gives cinnamon its smell and flavor. It comes from the bark of cinnamonium trees. And fun fact, back in ancient times, cinnamon was so rare and expensive that it was worth more than gold. Now, the dry ingredients are flour, baking powder, baking soda, and a little salt. Whisk these together. This is where the first chemistry concept comes in, through acid-base reactions. Baking powder isn't just one thing, it's a mixture that has a base in it, which is sodium bicarbonate, and a solid acid, like cream of tartar. By themselves, they just sit there, but the moment liquid touches them, they react. And when heated in the oven, the reaction speeds way up and they produce carbon dioxide gas, which is CO2. Now we have acid and the base swapping parts, and CO2 gas as a byproduct. Finally, we have NaA and H2O, which are just what's left over after that swap happens. The equation looks like this. That CO2 gas gets trapped inside the batter, and it pushes the batter upward. That's how cupcakes rise. Now we're creaming the butter and sugar. Have it go until the mixture is light and fluffy, about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure to start the mixture on low, or pieces will fly out of the bowl. Eggs go in one at a time, and this is actually our second chemistry concept, protein denaturation. Raw eggs have proteins that are all coiled up and folded, kind of like tangled headphone wires. It's disgusting. When heat hits them in the oven, these proteins unfold, which is called denaturing, and then they bond together into a solid network. That network is what gives the cupcake its structure. Without it, your cupcake would just collapse into a sad puddle. Moving on, we alternate a little flour mix and a little milk. And the most important rule is do not overmix. Overmixing develops too much gluten, the protein network, and flour, and your cupcakes turn out too tough and chewy instead of fluffy, which we do want. So stir just until it comes together and stop. Put a little batter into each liner, then a little sprinkle of that cinnamon mix on top. Then another tablespoon of batter to cover it. Now we can take a toothpick and swirl for a marble pattern. Into the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for 16 to 20 minutes. And now waiting. But while we wait, the fourth chemistry concept, heat transfer. The oven uses convection, or hot air, that circulates around the pan and transfers thermal energy into the batter. That heat does two things at once. It triggers the CO2 reaction, making the cupcakes rise, and it also denatures the proteins to lock that risen shape in permanently. So the oven isn't just making them hot, it's triggering multiple chemical reactions at the exact same time. You can actually tell that your cupcakes are done by the golden brown tops. This color is actually called the Maillard reaction, a chemical reaction between amino acids and sugars that happens just above 140 Celsius. It creates hundreds of new flavor compounds at once. That's why baked things taste baked. It's not just heat, it's chemistry making new flavors. While we wait, we can make the frosting. Beat the butter until smooth, then slowly add the powdered sugar in batches. Next, add the cinnamon and vanilla, a little cream, and then whip it on high until it's fluffy and pipeable. It's okay if they don't look perfect because I made them with chemistry. You can cover your mistakes by sprinkling cinnamon on the tops. And from acid-base leavening, protein denaturation, heat transfer, the Maillard reaction, cupcakes are made.